Hello and welcome to Echoes of History. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Today, we explore one of the pivotal moments of the French Revolution, the storming of the Bastille on July 14th, 1789. On that day, hundreds, possibly over 1,000 Parisians marched to the Bastille, a fortress and prison in the center of Paris, aiming to seize it. The Bastille symbolized royal authority and the oppression of the monarchy. That afternoon, the crowd successfully stormed the Bastille. In the chaos, one royal soldier was killed, while nearly 100 of the attackers lost their lives. 7 prisoners inside were liberated. Today, this dramatic event is remembered as the storming of the Bastille, a defining early moment in the French Revolution, and is still celebrated as France's national day. But what exactly was the French Revolution? At its core, it was a movement that erupted in 1789 to challenge the absolute monarchy in France. Initially, the revolutionaries sought a constitutional monarchy, but as the movement unfolded, their ambitions expanded dramatically. By the autumn of 1792, the First French Republic was declared, though many historians view the revolution's most turbulent phase as culminating in 1793 during the infamous Reign of Terror. To understand these events, it's crucial to examine France during the 18th century. The country was governed by the Ancien Regime, a hierarchical system dominated by the king and nobility. Ordinary citizens had little political influence, and the Estates General, the National Assembly, hadn't been convened since 1614. The Bourbon monarchs, residing in the opulent palace of Versailles, were physically and symbolically distant from their subjects. While Louis XIV had maintained control effectively during his long reign, his successor, Louis XVI, ascended the throne in 1774, ill-prepared to handle the financial and social crises mounting in France. By the late 1770s and 1780s, economic hardship and famine swept the nation. Despite appointing multiple finance ministers, Louis failed to stabilize the state. Ultimately, the only solution was to convene the Estates General for the first time in 175 years, requesting significant financial support from the nobility and middle class. The Assembly met on May 5, 1789, but soon, Louis and his advisors realized they were losing control. Members demanded broader discussions about governance and reforms, eventually forming a National Assembly on June 20th after taking an oath on a tennis court at Versailles to not disband until a constitution was agreed upon. That month reflected the shift in Parisian sentiment. Reforms soon followed, inspired by Enlightenment ideals. Feudal privileges were abolished on August 4th, and a few weeks later, the Declaration of the Rights of Man was issued. On October 5th, a large group of Parisian women marched to Versailles, forcing Louis and Marie Antoinette to relocate to Paris, effectively under house arrest in the Tuileries Palace for the next 3 years. During 1790, the National Assembly implemented sweeping changes. The nobility was officially dissolved on May 19th, voting rights were expanded, and the influence of the Roman Catholic Church was significantly curtailed. Resistance emerged, however, from former nobles and factions within the church and administration, leading to heightened paranoia. The flight to Varennes on June 20th, 1791, Louis XVI's failed escape to Austria, further eroded trust in the monarchy. By spring 1792, France's internal revolution intersected with international tensions. European powers, including Prussia, Austria, Britain, and Spain, feared the revolutionary ideas spreading to their own nations. Austria, ruled by Leopold II, Marie Antoinette's brother, became particularly hostile, and war broke out in April 1792. These French Revolutionary Wars lasted intermittently until 1802, eventually evolving into the Napoleonic Wars, with military generals exerting increasing influence over revolutionary politics. Radicalization escalated at home. On August 10, 1792, revolutionaries stormed the Tuileries Palace, placing the royal family under the control of more extreme factions. By September 21, 1792, the National Convention formally abolished the monarchy, declaring France a republic. Louis XVI, now referred to as Citizen Capet, was executed on January 21, 1793, and Marie Antoinette met the same fate in October of that year. The revolution's internal radical phase intensified with the creation of the Committee of Public Safety, led by Maximilien Robespierre. This marked the beginning of the Reign of Terror, characterized by mass executions and extreme political purges. Moderate voices were removed from power, replaced by the Montagnards and the Jacobins, radical groups championing the revolution's most extreme measures. France transitioned toward military-led governance, eventually leading to the establishment of the Directory in 1795. In 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte, a Corsican general renowned for his military victories, became first consul, effectively ending the First French Republic. In 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of France, signaling the formal rise of the First French Empire. The French Revolution's legacy, however, extended far beyond Napoleon's reign. It inspired Republican ideals, expanded political participation, and shaped the evolution of liberal democracy across Europe. Constitutional monarchies and representative governments gradually replaced absolute rule, embedding the principles of liberty, equality, fraternity into the continent's political consciousness. You've been watching Echoes of History. What are your thoughts on the French Revolution? Share your views in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.